Applicants. My name is SRAE Thompson, and welcome to the Family and Youth Services Bureau's Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Programs pre-applicant webinar for the Title V Competitive Sexual Risk Avoidance Education Notice of Funding Opportunity, HHS 2024 ACF ACYF TS 0040. Throughout this webinar, we will refer to the program as Competitive SRAE. This webinar is also hosted by my colleague, Nakia Martin-Wright. Before we begin, I would like to thank everyone for their interest in this funding opportunity and want to acknowledge the hard work you all put in when applying to federal grants such as this opportunity. We also want to thank you for your continued efforts to serve our nation's youth and families. And lastly, we want to thank everyone for submitting their questions, which will be answered at the end of this webinar. Let's start with some key facts of this funding opportunity. To make sure we're all in the right place, you can confirm the funding opportunity title and number here. The total estimated funding for the competitive SRAE is around $12 million. Each state has different award ceilings, which we will see on another slide, but the average award will not exceed $450,000. There is no matching or cost sharing requirement for this grant, which means that if you choose to include cost sharing funds, they will not be considered during review. However, you will be held accountable for any funds you add, including through reporting. The competitive SRAE grant runs for 24 months or 2 years from September 30th, 2024 to September 29th, 2026. There will be 2 separate 12-month budget periods. The due date for application submission will be July 8th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you are ready to submit your application, you will submit 2 files, plus the standard forms in the application package. Your 2 files will include your project narrative and your attachments, which we will review in the next slide. The other required forms are standard requirements and can be found on grants.gov. These attachments are included in the overall application page limit unless it states otherwise. Lastly, the page limit for the combined 2 file submission is 100 pages. So that means file 1 and 2 combined should be 100 pages or less. File 1 should include your table of contents, project summary, project narrative, and your line item budget and budget narrative. File 2 will consist of all your other attachments, such as your logic model, MOUs, organizational capacity chart, resumes, and/or vacant position descriptions. PDF is the recommended format for file submission, but you may submit Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents. Image formats are also acceptable if they are in the required format. The page size should be 8.5 inches by 11 inches with 1-inch margins all around. The font should be 12-point font size and Times New Roman. For single and double spacing requirements, please visit the NOFO. Please make sure you strictly follow these formatting and file submission guidelines to make sure your application makes it to the review stage.
Now, let's discuss eligibility. Competitive SRAE funds are available for entities in the states and territories that are listed here. These are the states that, as of the publication of this NOFO, have not accepted state allocations. If you do not see your state on this chart, then your organization is not eligible to apply to this NOFO. Here is a list of entities that are eligible to apply for this NOFO. In addition to the entities listed here, the list of eligible applicants also includes local and faith-based organizations or consortia with the capacity to develop and implement competitive SRAE projects in states and territories that did not accept fiscal year 2023 allocations for the Title V state SRAE grant. Now we will review the competitive SRAE legislation. The Title V Sexual Risk Avoidance Education Program is authorized and funded by Section 510 of the Social Security Act, as amended by Section 50502 of the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018 and extended by Division CC, Title III, Section 303 of the Consolidated Appropriations Act 2022.
Let's talk a little bit about competitive SRAE. The purpose of the Title V Competitive SRAE Program is to competitively fund projects to implement sexual risk avoidance education that teaches youth to voluntarily refrain from sexual activity. The program is designed to teach youth personal responsibility, self-regulation, goal setting, healthy decision-making, a focus on the future, and the prevention of risk behaviors such as drug and alcohol use without normalizing teen sexual activity. The goal of the Title V Competitive SRAE Program is to provide messages to youth that normalize avoiding non-marital sexual activity and other risk behaviors that increase the risk for teen sex. The objectives of this program are to implement curricula that include medically accurate information based on adolescent learning and developmental theories for the age group receiving the education. Implement curricula and strategies that are age appropriate and culturally appropriate, recognizing the experiences of youth from diverse communities, backgrounds, and experiences. Teach risk avoidance skills through methods that do not normalize teen sexual activity and to serve youth ages 10 to 19. Projects funded under this program must meet the requirements detailed here. We will discuss each section in more detail in the following slides. Additionally, full program implementation through funded projects must start within 90 days of grant award. Competitive SRAE projects must be medically accurate, age, culturally, and linguistically appropriate, trauma-informed, and inclusive. Therefore, you must have a plan to provide safe, inclusive, and culturally responsive spaces and services for all youth, including youth facing disabilities, youth of color, youth who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, and/or two-spirit, LGBTQIA2S+, and youth from other underserved populations. Also, you must be inclusive of the language access needs of youth and their families. Inclusive programming helps youth feel safe, respected, engaged, and valued for who they are and enable grant recipients to be more sensitive and responsive to their needs. Project materials, practices, and services should not discriminate, alienate, exclude, or stigmatize youth and their families. Competitive SRAE programs must ensure that any information provided on contraception is medically accurate and complete, and ensures all students understand that contraception reduces but does not eliminate physical risk. The education provided does not include demonstrations, simulations, or distribution of contraceptive devices. Youth participation in the competitive SRAE programs must be voluntary. As shown here, these definitions are also located in the appendix section of the NOFO under the glossary of terms. Competitive SRAE programs must at minimum implement evidence-based programming. Selected interventions must be promising practices or have evidence of effectiveness with the target populations and adhere to the following requirements. In accordance with the Title V competitive SRAE legislation, the interventions your program must use to address the following A through F topics. A, the holistic, individual, and societal benefits associated with personal responsibility, self-regulation, goal setting, healthy decision-making, and a focus on the future. B, the advantage of refraining from non-marital sexual activity to improve the future prospects and physical and emotional health of youth. C, the increased likelihood of avoiding poverty when youth attain self-sufficiency and emotional maturity before engaging in sexual activity. D, the fundamental components of healthy relationships and their impact on the formation of healthy marriages and safe and stable families. E, the effect of other youth risk behaviors, such as drug and alcohol use, on increasing the risk for teen sex. And F, strategies on how to resist and avoid and receive help regarding sexual coercion and dating violence, recognizing that even with consent, teen sex remains a youth risk. You must also incorporate positive youth development into your program. Meaningful youth engagement and leading in partnership with youth and young adults are important components of the overarching PYD strategy. Meaningful youth engagement views youth as equal partners with adults in the decision-making process rather than mere beneficiaries of programs. Involving youth as partners in making decisions that affect them increases the likelihood that the decisions will be accepted, adopted, and made part of their everyday lives. PYD also encourages projects to consult with and engage young people and offer them opportunities to have input on program implementation. There are also links within this section of the NOFO that can provide additional support in learning more about PYD. Your program should advance equity by assessing existing inequalities in programs and youth needs and collaborating with young people and communities. Throughout your review of the NOFO, pay close attention to should and must requirements. Your program must provide services to youth populations between the ages of 10 and 19. Your program may target services to youth populations who are vulnerable, including but not limited to the following groups: youth living in under-resourced regions and areas of high rates of teen birth and STIs, youth populations who are historically and culturally underrepresented and underserved, especially Hispanic, non-Hispanic Black, American Indian, Alaskan Native teens, and teens from rural areas and territories. Youth in or aging out of foster care or adjudication systems. Youth who are victims of trafficking. Youth who have run away or left home without permission. Youth experiencing homelessness. youth who identify as LGBTQIA2S+. Your program should coordinate, communicate, and engage with community-based organizations whose mission is to reach such populations. Your program should also include staff development and training opportunities to increase knowledge of equity-related barriers and opportunities related to gender, race, and other characteristics. Referrals and linkages to youth-friendly healthcare and other services. Linkages and referrals to healthcare and other services are important components of supporting youth holistically. Such linkages and referrals should be youth-friendly. Your program should include referrals and linkages to youth-friendly services, including but not limited to the following: healthcare, educational services, career development, counseling services, public benefits, including supplemental nutrition assistance program and other relevant benefit programs. You should provide referrals for necessary services, but cannot pay for the services themselves with FISB funding. We encourage you to develop partnerships to help facilitate these referrals and document such referrals. When feasible, you should track the initiation of service delivery.
Performance measures are a set of indicators that reflect program performance. Twice a year, all recipients and subrecipients, including their implementation sites, are required to collect and submit information on program implementation and program outcomes through a common set of performance measures. You must indicate agreement to collect and report on OMB approved program performance measures in your application. Local evaluations are separate from performance measurement and must be conducted by an independent evaluator or local evaluator. SRAE local evaluations are designed to answer awardee-driven research questions that assess a specific program's effectiveness, impact, implementation, and/or participant outcomes. A local evaluation provides an opportunity for you to learn whether your programs are achieving desired outcomes and identify areas for program improvement. A local evaluation also gives you a chance to contribute to the evidence base for SRAE programming. Remember that a local evaluation is optional. If you intend to conduct a local evaluation, you must provide a detailed description of your evaluation plan in the approach section of your application. In accordance with the legislation, any competitive SRAE evaluation that you opt to conduct must be rigorous, evidence-based, designed and conducted by independent researchers who have experience in conducting and publishing research in peer-reviewed journals or other outlets. Competitive SRAE programs that choose to conduct a local evaluation are required to set aside a maximum of 20% of their annual funding allocation for evaluation activities. Next, we will discuss the national evaluation. FISB will conduct a national descriptive study with grant recipients and may invite a subset of program projects to participate in a rigorous federal evaluation. Federal evaluations are subject to the Paperwork Reduction Act, and FISB will receive all approvals prior to launching any evaluations. You must clearly state in your application your agreement to participate in the national evaluation if selected. And last but not least, your sustainability plan. Applicants must propose a plan for project sustainability after the period of federal funding ends. We expect you to sustain key elements of your project. These elements can include strategies or services and interventions that have been effective in improving practices and outcomes.
Funding policies and limitations. Under this NOFO, the following costs are not allowed: pre-award costs, construction, purchase of real property, major renovation. You will also need to observe the following rules. No more than 20% of funds can be used for evaluation. Title V competitive SRAE allows funded agencies and organizations to assist the youth in their programs in finding services and making referrals. But such healthcare and other services must not be paid for with Title V competitive SRAE funds. Funds under this NOFO cannot be used for the following purposes: to supplant or replace current public or private funding, to supplant ongoing or usual activities of any organization involved in the project. There's also a link under this section of the NOFO that supports more information on costs that are always unallowable or have restrictions. We will now explore the criteria section of this NOFO. Applicants will be scored in each section listed here. Objectives, need for assistance and outcomes, 20 points. Project timeline and milestones, approach, and project sustainability plan, 45 points. Program performance evaluation plan, 8 points. Local and national evaluation, 2 points. Organizational capacity and plan for oversight of federal awarded funds, 20 points. And budget justification, 5 points. Before we close out this webinar, we want to explore a few of the frequently asked questions sent in through applicants. A full list of FAQs can be found on the FISB website, and the link will be provided in the chat. Please note, as this is a competitive process, we cannot comment on, provide direct guidance, or instruction in the development of your project design or on the writing of your application. You should use your best judgment in determining whether your project will meet the requirements outlined in the Notice of Funding Opportunity. The FAQ document is intended only to provide information to the public regarding existing requirements under the law or agency policies. For any conflicting information between the FAQ document and the NOFO will take precedence. Question: can my organization apply for both Title V competitive SRAE and GD SRAE announcements? Yes. If your organization meets the eligibility requirements, you may apply for both GD SRAE and Title V competitive SRAE. Question: if I am a current Title V competitive SRAE grantee, can I apply for this NOFO? Yes. If you are a current Title V competitive SRAE grantee, you may apply to this NOFO. Question: are we able to submit more than one proposal for two different areas of service? One proposal for one county and another for another county? Yes, you can submit more than one application for different areas of service, areas, and geographical locations. Question: can I be listed on more than one application as long as the FTE does not exceed 100%? Yes. Question: last year, our state was on the list of eligible states for competitive Title V. This year, the state is not listed as eligible. Was that a mistake? Please refer to Step 1, review the opportunity, other eligibility criteria, to find a list of eligible states. As of NOFO publication, entities from the states and territories included in the list are eligible to apply. Question. Unfortunately, my state was not listed as an eligible state. This is a grant that would impact the youth in our area tremendously. There are currently other funding opportunities available. This link will be provided in the chat to explore those opportunities. Question. I am inquiring about the Title V Competitive SRAE Grant. We currently manage a competitive SRAE award and submitted an NCC for year 2 of this grant. However, the grant indicates another new grant for the same state. Is this another opportunity to expand our project? This is a separate and new funding opportunity announcement. Please read the NOFO for requirements unique to this NOFO. Thank you all for attending today's webinar. As stated earlier, you can review FAQs about this NOFO on the FISB website, where the link is in the chat. Please keep in mind that the deadline for submitting questions via email is June 7th, 2024. Applicants are strongly encouraged to check the FAQ website link periodically for updates up until that time. Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.